Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to episode 142, season 2. Guys, on today's episode, we're going to be giving you to our live reaction to Manchester City lifting the UCL trophy. Manchester City have been confirmed as being the UCL 2023 champions. What an achievement. Manchester City have won the treble. Before we get on into today's episode, guys, I post a link on Twitter at Kool-Aid Podcast 10. If you guys want to join and give your thoughts and reactions, always feel free and welcome. Just click on the link and then you'll be able to join. We encourage people to basically hop on and give their thoughts, their comments, whatever. But guys, Manchester City have won the UCL. What an amazing achievement for Pep, for the Manchester City players, for the club and everything. Manchester City have won 1-0. It wasn't the most brilliant Manchester City performance, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that Manchester City have gotten the job done and that they've won the UCL. I don't know. How did you feel watching that Manchester City performance? What did you think of the game? What did you make of everything?
Look, I wasn't present in the match preview yesterday, but I know that at least you and me, we didn't expect this game to be that tight as it was.
Bro, I expected a much better performance from
So
Manchester City.
I
Manchester
mean,
City,
yeah, and we saw around like the 60th minute around that time, Inter started picking up pace and they started putting the ball more on City's side. Um, but what a strike by Rodrigo,
but what a goal, man!
What a
That
strike.
goal is actually insane. It's the second man to win the Champions League,
And
bro.
I was listening to a broadcast, and there was an interesting stat that he has scored in the last three finals for City. So
Bro, Rodri?
he's won. I mean, look it up, because I might have misinterpreted, but apparently he has scored in the last three finals for City, and that's crazy, dude. Because he's not. I mean, he's not a scorer. He's a distributor. He controls the pace of the game. And funny enough, we saw Busquets maybe a couple of weeks ago. He was interviewed about who he would want to ideally replace him in Barca.
Yeah,
He said, I know it won't happen because I mean, City, especially after today, they don't want to let Rodri go. But
yeah.
I mean, what a goal!
I know. What a goal and what a performance. Manchester City, like throughout, I thought they were very nervous. I thought like their players didn't show up. I thought it was like it wasn't a Manchester City performance at all. I came into the game expecting like, hey, this is gonna be like
Yeah.
a Barca and Wembley against Manchester United performance. I was thinking like, whoa, Manchester City are gonna put a performance for the ages, but they didn't. Inter Milan, they played great. I thought that they were the better team actually throughout the entire game, and this just shows like, hey, being the better team does not always mean that you'll win. But when we look at how both teams lined up for this game, you see how Manchester City they went with their strongest lineup as they could. We basically predicted this entire lineup. You had Ederson in goal, Nathan Ake as the left side center back, Ruben Diaz, Akanji, Stones, Rodri in the midfield, and then you had Grealish, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Holland. De Bruyne, he did get injured very early in the game. De Bruyne wasn't having a good game whatsoever, and Foden later come on to replace him. But I don't know. What did you make of Manchester City's lineup?
I mean, I liked it. We've seen that they have stuck by it for the Madrid games, and it has worked. I mean, it definitely its outcome offensively was much different from the Madrid second leg. I mean, and again, Inter, they can be a defensive team because we know how Italian football is, but I was thinking at least two goals from City, and I mean this lineup. Well, we see that the two pivots to help with the defense, it is an offensive force. We see
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva has had a terrific year. Holland has been Holland, and we saw today. I mean, there wasn't really much going on. The lineup, like you guys predicted in the preview,
Hmm.
is what we all expected. They weren't gonna deviate from what has been working against Madrid and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I mean, it got the job done even without De Bruyne. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, De Bruyne, he did get go off injured. He wasn't having the best game. And we are going to touch upon that a little bit after. But guys, this is how Inter lined up. You had Lautaro Martinez partnered up with Eden Dzeko. There were some questions like, hey, was Lukaku going to start or Eden Dzeko? And I thought both of them, like even though like Lukaku, he missed some chances. what's it called?
And he blocked some chances.
Exactly, yeah. Like Lukaku, he dropped like a disaster class. You had that five in the midfield with Di Marco, Chanoglu, Brozovic, Barella, Dumfries. You had Bastoni, Acerbi, and Darmian, and Onana in goal.
Bastoni had a really nice performance towards the end of the second half. Like
Yeah,
right before City's goal, he was clamps at the back.
he
So
he he was, and what's it called? And as we said before, I thought that what's it called that Inter Milan, they were the better team. They're playing much better than Manchester City. But well, we'll talk about the individual performances of Man of no, actually we're on Inter, so we'll talk about that. Do you think that anyone in Inter played a good game? I don't know why I keep touching that. Do you think anyone in Inter played a good game?
I think, like you said, Inter as a team play a good game.
Okay.
They play a superior game. Um, at the back, I'm gonna say Bastoni. I think Bastoni had a terrific game, especially
Mm-hmm.
in that second half when City started shifting a little more in their favor.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, bro, that's what stood out the most to me. They were moving the ball well up the middle, and we saw later on Lukaku. I mean, yes, he was able to score, but he was in the right spaces. He had the right chances. Lukaku and what was the other guy, bro? Lukaku.
Lukaku and Martinez.
No, it wasn't Martinez. It was the left. I
Uh,
bring
they, oh,
the last one.
the Di Marco. Are you talking about
Lukaku.
the?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
His
mean,
header was bro. That header, I have no idea how he wasn't able to put that away. I was just like, no, what are you doing? That was actually
so
crazy. But another player who I thought played really well, I think was Onana. Onana, he had some key saves. Especially when you look at that in that first half, that Holland chance, like for example, like, the game could have turned out much differently. If Holland puts that away, maybe Manchester City, they still get the victory, but it's a much different scoreline. Um, but I thought, as you said, Inter Milan, they played good as a whole team. I thought Martinez, there were some chances that he got. He was pressing a lot. I thought that
yeah,
there were some chances where he could have done a lot better, but
and that's what I'm saying. This team, there's no one player that completely stood out to you. This was
yeah.
a good team performance, not anything spectacularly wolf from one player, just good chemistry, and that's what got them here. This team was not supposed to get this far in the eyes of many football fans. So I
Mhm.
mean, well, it was terrific even today.
Yeah, exactly. But now we move on to Manchester City's lineup. Now, I thought that Manchester City, like Manchester City, did not play well at all. They got the job done, but they didn't play well. I thought Holland absolutely ghosted in the game. I thought, for example, like look at that, he had a 6.6.
Do you think, before we continue, do you think that hurts his Ballon d'Or chances?
I think that does. I think that does because, like for example,
Because
Holland.
no, because look, he goes to against Madrid and he goes to today as well.
Yeah, like
So,
and he goes in the FA Cup final as well. Like and like he hasn't been playing. See, the thing is, when Holland doesn't score, he doesn't play. He doesn't play well.
I mean, yeah,
It's that simple.
that's his job.
Exactly. For example, Messi, if he doesn't score, he can still play well. That's the difference. And I'm sorry, scoring a brace in the World Cup final to win it is like, I'm sorry, you can't compare that to what's it called, to what Holland basically did
All right, buddy.
with
All right,
Manchester.
all right. Listen,
I'm just saying, scoring a brace in the World
yo,
Cup
I'm
final
gonna say this.
is better than ghosting in the UCL final.
Onana had a great game, but what a fucking game from Ederson.
Ederson, oh my God, Ederson, it was
What a game.
monstrous. But Ederson, and Ederson was criticized before of his shot stopping,
Yeah.
in the years before, like, hey, he was one of the big issues. Like, yes, his ball distribution is good, but he's very vulnerable in the defense. And he was able to give those amazing saves to basically bail out Manchester City in the biggest of
And
occasions.
I saw some people saying the header by DiMarco that hit the crossbar.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that he had his hand right under it.
Mhm.
But that the header by Lukaku right in
No,
front of the
no, no.
goal. I mean,
Lukaku has to put that away.
no. Like we shit on Lukaku, but that was pure reflexes from Ederson.
Yeah,
That was
exactly. No, no,
incredible.
on top of that, but like Lukaku, you have to do much better than that. You can't be like shooting it like directly at the what's it called? at the at the keeper. Like you have to pick an angle. Lukaku, like he should have done much better than that. But what a performance from Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz has absolutely transformed that Manchester City defense. You know, like before then, they were getting knocked out in the quarterfinals and the round of 16s, for example. With Ruben Diaz, you know, like ever since he's been there, constant semifinals, and now he's won the UCL. He's absolutely transformed that defense. Rodri getting that massive goal, which gave Manchester City the UCL title. I thought John Stones, you know, he was giving that recovery. I thought no one in the
And
attack played well.
that strike by Rodri shows you how football is a game of not even inches, millimeters. That
Millimeters.
strike,
That was 1 millimeter.
I
Like
forgot who was what interplay. It wasn't Bastoni or
no, it was Darmian.
I'm not sure who it was, but he was standing like trying to shift his body towards the ball.
Yeah, it was Darmian.
It was this much. If the ball had gone this much to the left, it was a deflection, and that probably wouldn't have been a goal.
Bro. I'm
It was
pretty
beautiful.
sure. I'm pretty sure the Inter defender felt the air, the air of the ball just like move right there.
And Onana couldn't do anything there. He had like 4 or 5 guys in front of him.
No,
That
no,
was a strike.
no,
So
it was too fast. It was too fast.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
golazo.
a golazo for
And my TV was like it was a little crappy like the transmission
yeah.
was the because Bernardo Silva was the one that centered the ball or was it? I
No,
couldn't tell.
it was what's it called? A deflection. Bernardo Silva,
Right,
he tries to put it
right,
across.
right, right, right.
The
I
Inter
thought
blocked it.
from my angle, I was like, "There's no way." But now Silva just has had eyes in the back of his head and just turned to center the goalie. I was like, "There's no way that ball wasn't a deflection." But no,
No,
I was okay. It was a deflection, but I was
yeah.
convinced for a second. I was like, "There's no way he just turned his body to find goalie in the corner."
Yeah, I know, and I know exactly. Like Manchester City, you know, like they were also lucky in that instance because like if that deflection doesn't land on Rodri, like who knows? Like
But that's
we
also
could still be
bad.
watching the game right now.
That was also bad defense by Inter. In that
Yeah,
space in the box, Dori
yeah,
had all the time the world to sprint towards the ball. There was no one attempting to clear the ball.
exactly. There
There
was
was
no
no
one.
one there.
Everyone was running towards the
No,
keeper and
everyone
everything.
was crowding Onana, and then I forgot who was in the middle of the box that tried running to clear the ball, but it was too late. They weren't
Yeah.
doing anything in that play. So
Yeah, what's it called? I completely agree. And what's it called? I don't know what's make of Pep Guardiola because Pep Guardiola is now the only manager in history to win two trebles with two different teams. This definitely makes him the GOAT manager.
yeah, I mean, I
Don't you think
know
so?
that that's not what many of us want to, not us, but like, that's not what many fans want to hear. Everybody wants to say that Mourinho's the goal, and there's a lot of goal managers throughout history. That's why you can't really say who's the goal manager. But I mean, yeah, man, and look at that, yeah,
Yeah, just look at that.
pretty tough for
Owen
Italy
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
0-3 for Italy. Italy have made like the final of each European competition, but they've lost every single competition. Like that's not a good sign for Italy. Like yes, you've made there, but you haven't won it. Florentina, what's it called? Being knocked out. Roma being knocked out. And Inter Milan
But yeah, I
being
mean,
knocked out.
going back to what you were asking me, I mean, I guess Guardiola has to be there's not really a debate.
Yeah,
If we want to say a group of goal managers, he's definitely there. Many will say that he's top one, that there's someone else beside him. And I mean, after winning 2 trebles, no one has done that, like you said. I don't care how stacked your team is, you still do it. Many managers have amazing teams that don't do shit with them. So I mean, yeah, I think he has to be considered the GOAT.
yeah. This and
Purely
on top
off
of that,
that.
he did this without Lionel Messi. Like to picture them because like a whole bunch of critics were saying like, "Yo, he won this treble because of Messi and everything," but no, he won the treble. He
And that's with Haaland ghosting against Madrid.
exactly with his best player
Madrid, I
ghosting,
mean,
and on top of De Bruyne being injured.
the best striker in the world right now, ghosting. The best top, let's say the best midfielder in the world being injured. So I mean, you have
Exactly,
to adjust.
exactly. You had to adjust and everything, and Pep Guardiola becomes that manager. But Avado, what do you make of Julian Alvarez completing football, and what's it called? Not only this, but now he has a greater career than Mbappe. He has a greater
Yes,
career
he
than
does.
Mbappe.
Yes, he
Maybe
does.
because what's it called? Because like tons of people are saying like Mbappe has won the World Cup at 19. Julian Alvarez at the age of 23
Purely off that.
has exactly.
Mbappe is a captain of France. He's pretty much the CEO of PSG.
Bro, he's not the CEO. He's the owner of
He's the
PSG.
owner of PSG. He hasn't done shit for PSG. So I mean, aside from the league, okay, if they don't win the league, it's embarrassing. So I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And on top of that,
How old Julian?
Julian is 23. Julian is
Completing
23.
football before 30 is pretty hard.
Exactly.
So
He's completed football at the age of 23. He's won the World Cup. He's won the what's it called?
and you have to think that after this, you're gonna have to take Madrid after him because I mean, for example, Madrid's looking for a striker and Julian.
Nah. Julian is not going to Madrid.
Okay,
He's going to Barcelona.
all
He's
I'm
going to
saying,
Barcelona.
no, I would love that shit, but
Uh,
I feel like he's leaving after this year. I mean, he also want to be on under Haaland's
No,
shadow.
no, I feel he's going to stay
So
one more year, and if he doesn't get regular playing time, he's gone.
we'll
I
see.
think that's the
We'll
case.
see.
And that's perfect for us because like one more year of Lewandowski, and then he's gone. We bring in Julian Alvarez, and he wins another UCL basically.
I would like that idea,
I
but
know, but now he finally has, I would say, a greater career than Mbappe. You
I
know,
mean, on paper, he does.
his club career is much better. Like he's won the Prem. Well, what has Mbappe done? He's won the what's it called, the Uber Eats a couple times, but like that's the Uber Eats, and everything. He's
Okay,
won the World Cup.
look. I'm not shitting on leagues like the Bundesliga. You know what? The Bundesliga is more competitive than the French league, than Ligue 1. League 1, if PSG with the team that they have, if they don't win all those domestic trophies that they already won, I don't know what I'll tell you. So that's not a trophy. Is a trophy. It's not an accomplishment. Mbappe's major accomplishment has to be the UCL at some point in his career. He can't just keep winning the league and the domestic trophies, and then obviously he has a World Cup. Props to him. And this is not an episode to shit on Mbappe, but I mean, you haven't
Bro,
won the UCL.
bro, that's actually
Julian Alvarez
crazy.
has.
No,
There's
I'm looking
levels.
at I'm looking at this stuff right now, bro. There's no way that Holland wins the Ballon d'Or for Messi, bro.
A lot.
This guy had predicted like the wrong team for every single competition. Right there, you see Holland,
Look,
Premier League winner, the Golden
look,
Boot winner, Premier League
look.
Player of the Season, FA
I've
Cup
had
winner.
this debate with funny enough with a lot of Madrid fans
Yeah.
for some reason, and them saying that
Yo,
yeah,
it's because of their ghost actually like is playing in what they call Saudi Arabia. You
no,
know,
and
like
look, Haaland. He also, I mean, he's never gonna win football unless he leaves the Norwegian national team, but he has completed football without the World Cup. Let's say that. That doesn't
basically.
mean that he's gonna win Ballon d'Or. He had a terrific season. He had an outstanding season, but when he mattered most against Madrid and Inter, if City fails to beat Madrid or Inter, all fingers are pointing at Haaland.
Hmm.
Messi won Player of the World Cup. He quite literally carried that team to the final. So and won the final. So
No, I
if they give the Ballon d'Or to Haaland, it's just them not wanting to give it to Messi.
bro, exactly. The hate for Messi is so great that they what's it called? And their goal isn't in the conversation that they just want to hate and wants to do that. But guys, remember, if you guys want to join and give your thoughts and reaction on the episode, remember just go on Kool-Aid Podcast on Twitter. That's the handle, and just click on the link, and then you'll be able to join and give your thoughts on the discussion.
What will you rate City's performance and Inter's performance?
I would rate the performance maybe like a 7 from both teams, because I thought Inter Milan they did play well, but for example they weren't clinical with their chances. There were multiple there were a couple chances where Manchester City were very sloppy with possession and everything, and they didn't put the chances away. And if another day with better finishing, they put those chances away. I thought Manchester City played nowhere near their best. They were very sloppy, but they just have way too many clutch players in their squad. They have way too many good players, and they were just able to basically just put the game to bed. And that's the difference between the two teams. It's just like the quality of each of the two teams.
Honestly, I will give Inter a 7.5, almost an 8, because they play a real game. No one expected them to be this close. They play great defense, and they created great chances. They couldn't finish them because again, half of the chances were Lukaku, and we know that he's
Yeah.
asked respectfully. But look, they created chances. They had
Look
a
at
very
that.
good look. Here you go with Elias me writing.
Bro,
But I mean,
just look at that right
they
there.
finish. They finish. I will give Inter a 7.5, almost an 8, and City a 7 because City should have done more. They get lucky that I don't give them a 6.5, but I mean, hey, they do it. And look, Julian has
Yo,
completed football.
Okay. Now look at this. Manchester City 2022, 2023, the greatest team in the history of football. What do you think of that? What do you think of that statement?
I think you and me both know, or at least think what the greatest team in the history is. So I
Yeah,
mean,
the greatest team in history is that Barcelona the 2011 team that beat Manchester United in the final. That's the greatest team. Because, for example, this Manchester United side and this Manchester City side struggled to beat the Inter, an Inter team who are nowhere near their best. Well, for example,
Barca goes to Wembley
exactly, Barcelona goes to Wembley against
and scores
Manchester, one of
and
the
scores how
best
many?
Manchester United side ever, one of the
And
best
and,
Manchester
and scores how many?
three, three, three. And what's it called?
Cities waste too many, what, 70, 69, 68?
Yes, SJ. What's it called? I posted a link on Twitter. If you want to join, just go on Twitter, click the link, and then you'll be able to join at Kool-Aid Podcast 10. And SJ, he what's it called? He hopped on the what's it called? The watch along. He gave his thoughts. And everything. But I don't think this what's it called? This team is the greatest. Maybe I do believe that they're the greatest Premier League side. I do think that just because like the way like
No, I
the
mean,
football they played and everything.
look, most, I'm not gonna say most, but a good amount of non-Barca fans are gonna say that they're the greatest team because most of those fans are younger fans and don't really. I mean, you and me are young, but they don't really see how good Barca was in 2011. But I mean, this is still a terrific team. You did it without, and it shows you how good Pep did with the team. Because I mean, with the
Yeah,
Ballada playing
exactly,
in the
exactly.
final. But I mean, yeah.
Uh-huh. No, but SJ, what are your thoughts on this tweet right here? Do you think that this Manchester City side is the greatest team in the history of football? What do you think?
So it's not even top 10.
Hold up. Just you're a little bit low. Um, hold on. Let me adjust the
Okay.
microphone level. Um,
Am I
okay.
audible?
Uh, it's a little bit low. Hold on. Speak now.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are. Uh-huh. Much
No,
better.
it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not the greatest team of football. I think Barca 2011, Brazil 1970, the AC Milan teams. I think this is a bit of a stretch. I don't
Uh-huh.
think it is. I don't think this should be a discussion. Why is this a discussion?
I don't even I don't even know. Like for example, you know that this tweet is gonna be like retweeted and a lot of people are gonna be saying it. But these are just like prem fans. Once again, that 20 that side that beat Manchester United in the final. That's the greatest team of all
Yeah,
time. And on top of that, just like for example, just think you have the greatest players of all time in their positions. You have the greatest player of all time. What's it called? You have one of the greatest center backs of all time. You have the best midfield of all time. I'm sorry, there were just like too many greats in that Barcelona side. This Manchester City, they just don't hit the same. On top of that, just look at the
that
performance.
Barcelona side changed football, bro.
You're 100%.
It changed football because earlier the Ajax teams used to play like that when Ajax did a three-peat of UCL back in the day. But no
Uh-huh.
one expected as big a team as Barcelona to play that way and be as successful in the UCL. So books are written on that Barcelona team. I don't think that should be a comparison.
1,000%.
I would love, like, I would love at some point this week to like a poll, or like, I don't know, like, some find a way to ask Madrid fans and see, because I would be intrigued to see what team they pick for the greatest of all time. This year City or Barca for 2011. They're gonna have to give up either their hatred for City or their hatred for Barca, and I would
I
be
know,
intrigued.
Thing is,
bro.
they think Copa del Rey is a useless trophy, so they think treble is not a thing. They don't even recognize a treble because they think Copa del Rey is a useless trophy.
I know, and everything, but what's it called? But now Pep has actually like just created the Prem into a Farmers League. He's turned that into a Farmers League. Not only is he winning now Premier League titles, he's winning the UCL. And what's it called? Wait, I'm looking at a comment from here from Inter. They're talking about the game. Let me share my screen just to show you guys right here. Inter president Zhang on Romelu Lukaku and Chelsea. Romelu loves Inter. That's very clear. He's a great guy, but he's under contract at Chelsea. We have to wait and speak to Chelsea on Lukaku's
Should
future.
Pep quit?
Should Pep quit?
Man City.
Um, yeah, I would say like this is I would say Pep is gonna stay at Manchester City just a little bit longer, just to maybe make it four in a row, just to basically break that Ferguson record.
Hmm.
But also just to basically put more dominance on the Premier League, and just win more titles. I think he wants to create like a dynasty at this club, just like how Sir Alex did. Um, and I would love to see that. For example, I would love to see Manchester City just absolutely dominate,
Mhm.
and win more and more.
Thing is,
Um,
we have to reach that level. When will we reach this level?
like
That's the thing, now.
that's so true. Like yes, and everything. It's nice to see Pep win stuff, but we also want to be in this conversation. I don't know. I was talking with SJ in the watch along. We were discussing like, hey, when do you think that Barcelona is going to next win the UCL title? When do you think that'll be?
I mean, look, this is probably the biggest summer transfer window for Barca in a long time. Because last year they were trying to recover. This year they're ready to win it all. They have to bring in the right pieces to make the UCO possible. And this is not one of those teams that you think, oh, they didn't get past the group stage last year. Maybe they can make it to the round 16 this year. No, this team has to make the leap from not passing the group stage to the UCL final. They know what areas they need to work on and add depth and add star players. They could very well be in the UCL final next year. They just need to add the right names to the right positions.
I
I
I I,
think they could be in the UCL final next year.
they could be, but I still think the squad isn't ready. I think we still need a lot more to be added. I
I
also think
think
that Barcelona are not mentally ready just to be there yet.
I think Pedri and Gavi are polished enough. They've already had a full season under Xavi. I think they're polished enough to make it happen. They just gotta find they gotta fight injuries first of all, because this year was horrible at the start with the injuries that really messed up our UCL run. They gotta find the right depth for to manage such injuries. But in terms of being ready and not ready, you're ready if your coach makes you ready. And Xavi, I think he has did a great job this past season. I think he can very well do as good of a job this season and make it to where Barca needs to go. I mean, you win La Liga, there's no reason why you shouldn't be going for the UCL already.
I really hope next year Barcelona
Thing
make it
is,
far in the
these
Champions
players
League.
like Pedri, Gavi, Araujo, Balde, they haven't even played a UCL quarter final till now.
Exactly.
They need
That's another thing.
they need to reach those stages first,
Uh huh.
according to me at least.
Yeah. Can they handle the pressure of being in those high stakes? But what's it called? As you guys can see, people are already trying to find ways to discredit Manchester City. Like this post from ESPN, Manchester City have invested heavily into winning the first Champions League trophy, 1.2 billion spent. Now,
So one,
like what's it called? But when you look at the teams, like Manchester United, Chelsea, um, Liverpool, they've also spent huge amounts of money. It's not only Manchester City who've been spending huge amounts of money. It's just that Manchester City have been the most have used their money well. Like spending 15 million on Julian Alvarez instead of spending 100 million on Mudrik, or spending what's it called 20 million, for example, for a Kanji, rather than spending 80 million for Harry Maguire. You see, it's how you do your business. Um, and what's it
Also,
called? People are just trying to find ways to discredit Pep and Manchester City.
point is, they will be normalized in 15 or 20 years, just like Chelsea have been normalized.
Yeah,
Chelsea have been
exactly.
normalized. No one questions Chelsea now.
Exactly. What's it called? What, what a beautiful photo right here. Pep smiling. That's amazing. But guys, final thoughts. Basically, just to round off the episode. What do you like? Just final thoughts. Anything you want to say before we round off? Aldo?
1.24 billion or not, there's still one. So I
Yeah,
mean,
there's still one historic treble.
look how much PSG has spent. So
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. PSG.
yeah, not the ideal game for City without De Bruyne. So you can kind of like blame their performance on not having De Bruyne. But I mean, they win like we all expect. So
Yeah. SJ, you just final thoughts on the game.
First of all, getting that 1.24 billion aside, 1.2 billion Pep has spent, okay. He has won 5 Premier Leagues and 1 Champions League. You get 150 million for winning 1 Premier League. You get 150 for winning 1 Champions League. That's like 900 million prize money he has also achieved. So people are just discrediting it. I actually think Ruben Diaz is one of the best defenders in the world right now.
I completely agree.
I
He
agree.
had an amazing game today against Inter. He was making those clearances. He was just everywhere
Do you guys
for them.
remember his block in the game versus Bayern?
Oh my god,
This
that block against Musiala. If Musiala scores that, it's a different game because that Musiala chance he could have equalized.
Yeah.
is a
What's it
great
And
called?
defender.
look, to cap off the debate about the money, you can bring in anybody you want. If the chemistry is not there and the right
Yeah.
and the right play style, nobody's winning with Messi, Ronaldo, Iniesta, and Xavi. If you're not able to play good as a team, you're not gonna win. So I mean,
Bro, Messi
Completely agree.
scored 17 goals in the last season of Rijkaard. I checked the stats. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch football back then. Messi scored 17 goals in the season under Rijkaard. Pep came next season. Messi scored 38 goals. How did that output just clearly double itself? Just out of
there
nowhere.
you
Pep coaches you. Pep coaches you that way.
But,
go.
Pep is just he's the GOAT manager. That's simple. It's just his
And whether or not people like to admit it, nobody has won 2 trebles. Nobody.
exactly nobody.
So
Nobody. Nobody. I know Messi and there are some players who've won 2 trebles as players, but they've only
and
done it
nobody has coach. Exactly.
exactly. It's impressive. It
Which
puts him in a
player,
different level.
which is a player you would take from this Man City team? One player.
What one player that I would take from this Man City team? Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez. Just because that and what's it called and Rodri.
I
What's it
think I
called?
think I think Dori or Guandogan. I'm saying Guandogan because we've already heard rumors.
I'm
But
pretty sure it's like confirmed. Like after Manchester City have won the treble, I'm pretty sure it's gonna just be like a matter of time before he signs.
but
It's as
yeah, no, I think Dori would be the
yeah,
perfect
yeah.
player.
Like he's won that, but then like you signed
I
Julian
actually
Alvarez.
thought Rodri first, but I think you have changed my mind. I'll take Alvarez.
Yeah, because like, hey, just think about it. Like Julian Alvarez, he like Lewandowski is gone next season or something.
Yeah.
Basically, he's like
And
35. You have Julian Alvarez, who's like clutch. He gives you the off the ball, and on top of that, he's
yeah.
so young. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. On top of that, I'm Argentine. He's a World Cup winner.
Yeah, but stop giggling, buddy. All right.
No, I think
um,
Alvarez, we missed out on him. We missed out on Enzo also. Imagine Enzo in this team, our team.
oh my
Bro.
god, that would be amazing. A partnership with Enzo and Frankie. Oof. They would do wonders, but like he just went to Chelsea and everything. I don't think that's going to be happening. But guys, that
Yeah.
was it for tonight's episode. I really hope you guys
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Let us know down in the comment section below what do you guys make of Manchester City finally winning the UCL trophy. Pep Guardiola becoming the goated manager. Football wins today, guys. No harem ball, no anti-football wins. But guys, remember, as always, I post a link on Twitter if you guys want to join. Always feel free. Just go on Twitter at Kool-Aid Podcast 10. Also, remember, follow us on our social media platforms.